This is a video response to MundaneMatt's video titled "Woman Chooses to Die Giving Birth Rather Than Get Chemotherapy." MundaneMatt didn't do any research on this. He read one article, didn't do anything else, and that was his fault because he should have looked into it a little bit more and did a little bit of research. But he wanted to push his narrative to slam Christianity and belief. So he didn't do his research. What do I mean by that? Okay, I guess because I have terminal cancer, I know a little bit about this, so I looked it up. So as Carrie DeKlyen, what it said was a mother of 6 was pregnant and suffering from a brain tumor. Instead of saving herself with chemotherapy, she chose to give birth to her daughter, Life Lynn DeKlyen, due to her religious beliefs. She died this morning after her daughter was born. First off, that statement is false. Let's just be clear. That statement is false. And he didn't do any research. So I did but I did. I looked up Carrie DeKlyen and I found, yes, she died after that. And there's an article from another one. She had, not even going to try and pronounce this. I'll try. Glioblastoma. So she had glioblastoma, if that's the correct way to pronounce it. The American Brain Tumor Association has an article about this type of cancer. I'll put a link down below. For adults with aggressive glioblastoma treated with concurrent temozolamide and radiation therapy, median survival rate is about 14.6 months and 2-year survival rate is 30%. However, a 2009 study reported that almost 10% of patients with glioblastoma may live 5 years or longer. She had a 50% chance of living 14.6 months. 50% of the people in her, with her type of cancer, in her age group, who underwent chemo and radiation would live 14.6 months, and 50% would live a little bit longer. I know a little bit about this because I'm in this group here because I understand, I've got terminal cancer and I understand a little bit about this. So yeah, she's got that. According to the American Cancer Society, the 5-year survival rate for someone aged 22 to 44 with glioblastoma is 17%. She only had a 17% chance of living 5 years. Now, my cancer, I had an 8% chance when I was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer, and I've lived probably longer than the median because I had a year cancer free. But the fact that he goes, oh, she could have another child later, you don't know because she didn't have a good prognosis period. She was going to die. This is terminal. It's not that they would have cured her, and that's what MundaneMatt implied with his video. He didn't do any research into what that is, and that angers me because it's stupid. It shows that he wanted to grab headlines, thought this was a great title, and it allowed him to blast people that she gave up her child. She should have given up her child and lived rather than that. No, what happens is that she was going to die anyway. It's just her 50-50 chance. She was going to live 14.6 months if she went through radiation and chemo. Now, I went through chemo, and I know what my chemo was like, and I went through it fairly easily, and I have declined to go through it again because I don't want the problems that chemo causes. And because I know that I don't have a good prognosis, period. I don't have a good prognosis even going through chemo. And that's what this woman, Carrie, didn't have a good prognosis. She was not going to be cured, which is what MundaneMatt implied. She was going to die because of the cancer, unless she got run over by a bus or something else like that. But what happens is that his article is absolutely wrong and he wanted to slam belief. So now the question is should she have undergone chemotherapy, which would have killed the fetus, and she would have lasted 14.6 months on average. That's the betting odds. That's a hard one. And I'm not going to get into that one because that one you can sit there, but it's not this cure, which is what MundaneMatt put in his description on his video. Instead of saving herself with chemotherapy, she wouldn't have saved herself. She would have had some additional time, perhaps. That's the median. You have to know a little bit about the math. 50% of the people would live less than that, and 50% would live longer than that. So that would have been 14.6 months, and she would have gone through chemo for the rest of her life. That's the truth. It would have been chemotherapy, which is not an easy prognosis. She could not have had another child. Now, you can argue, should she have had 6? But that's a different discussion. I'm just talking about MundaneMatt not doing what he says he does by doing the research. He didn't do the research and produced a false video. Thank you for watching my video. Sorry for being a little bit irate, but I guess I have strong feelings about chemotherapy because I've been through it and had to make the same decision that not quite. I'm decided not to go through additional chemotherapy for the rest of my life. I'm going to die. So what happens is that's why this is a personal issue to me, and I think MundaneMatt needs to address this. Thank you.